Day 27 out of 30. The day is here. And our tiny home, it's moving day. That's right. About 27 days, we got the notice to vacate. And I've lost track a little bit. We actually got it 30 days ago from today. I missed a few days. I'm sorry. I'm human. So let's just fast forward, that we're like 27, 28, 29, and 30. Here we are. Boom. 30 days ago, we got the notice to vacate. And we had a beautiful party last night. And we woke up knowing that it was going to rain tomorrow. But we woke up and I saw drip, drip coming from the roof. I'm like, oh no, it's raining. So we literally packed up this entire area. You can see the only remnant left of our party with this beautiful circle of people hanging out last night. Beautiful. We had the cob oven here. We had the beverages over there, the table over there for the food. And we packed it all up in like an hour. Yeah, just like the lights, everything's done. So now we got to pack up the deck, or at least pull the deck away from the home, hitch the home, and then drive her out of here. The good news is this is a light rain. It's like been drizzly. It's not been, and it's been drizzly off and on, but it's definitely a precursor to she's going to rain probably. And we want to be off of this field before it rains, right? So green tea for me, coffee for my husband, and we're going to get out of here. We're going to take ourselves down the road. I just want to take a moment and give you guys the cutest little barn shot. Right? And the trees, thank you so much for being here. We were here and we arrived when they were all leafed up. We don't really know what this area is, maybe chicken coop, but that barn thing, that was cool. And then there's the houses up there. Those are unlivable right now. And this big, beautiful field that we are going to take ourselves out of, we had to, this giant pile was here, and the owner of the land hired someone to chip it all, and there's the chips over there. Well, they left like a mound of chips that there is no way our home was going to drive through. So we had to spread those out the other day, and look at the boo-boo I got, right? Just from spreading those chips. Oh well. Blood, sweat, and tears, baby. Tears. It's been great to be here. It really has. And I'm going to miss it. It's been wonderful that our dog's been able to roam so big and in this field. And it's been great that we've just had this opportunity to be here. I just have to come from gratitude, because I could come from anger and annoyance that, it's a situation that has gotten us to here, and, how unfair it is, or blah, 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 blah. What's that going to do? That is just going to be boring. That's going to be a boring video too. Boring life, boring video. These things do happen, and it is important to go feel the feels, right? Feel the feels and move on. So there, I felt my feels. Thank you all for being there and support. But there's other opportunities out there. We are going to be at the Sonoma County Home and Garden Show, March 19th, 20th, and 21st. So if you're in the area, Sonoma County, I'm going to be doing a lot more promotion about that. See, it's time. It's time to shift from this. This is great. I am so great that I covered this topic, because I want you all to know that going tiny is awesome. It's really cool. Has it had some challenges? Yes. Do some people really want to know where they're going to park their home before they go tiny? Absolutely. Are some people doing it, even though they don't know where they're going to park it? Yes. And that is something that we did, and we're figuring it out as we go. And we just want to share the reality, the real version. I love the shows, Tiny House Nation. Like, Those guys are awesome. And they're a TV show. And my friend Zach and recent friend, I just gave him a hug at San Diego. I don't know if I'd call him friend, but way cool, John Weisbarth, because these guys really get into the reality of what people are doing to go tiny in their lives. Why in their life, what has them at a point in their life where they want to go tiny? And the show does a really great job of showing design and the build, and it's got some dynamicness because, you don't know if they're going to finish in time, what it's going to look like, all that great stuff. And I love the Zach hacks. Come on. So cool. If you guys aren't familiar with Tiny House Nation, check it out. If you're on Netflix, they've got the first 2 seasons available to watch. Great ideas to gather for your own home. But, then there's the whole world of if you want to choose a builder, if you're wanting to go tiny and in your lifestyle and where you're going to park it. I mean, that is not what the show covers. But organizations like the Tiny Home Industry Association, who are working our little booties off to bring our tiny home ordinances around the jurisdictions around the country. In California alone, there's an accessory dwelling unit ordinance at the state level that got pushed out to all local and county jurisdictions. Jurisdiction actually covers county, city, you name it. That's the word that covers it. So when I say jurisdiction, it means city, county. That way I don't have to keep saying that. So the jurisdictions then have the choice to amend their accessory dwelling unit ordinance. And in doing so, they're able to say, we want movable tiny homes that have square windows, slanted roofs. You can see the slant right there. Siding that actually a home would have. And in doing so, you're basically everything from the wheels up is tiny home. Everything from the wheel down, think of it like an RV, but it's literally the trailer or the chassis with wheels. But the idea is that home is built to withstand hurricane winds and earthquake conditions and escape in the case of wildfires, which ours did. Back in fall during the Kincaid fire, Sebastopol was evacuated. It did not burn, wasn't really near it. But what they've learned from Paradise, having an entire town, many people dying in that fire, and literally wiping out an entire town, they didn't want to risk anything. So they evacuate large swaths of area. Well, does that cause some inconvenience in our lives? Yes. However, ours is a tiny home, so we were able to be out of harm's way. So these are all important things to think about in your lives. If you're watching this and you're like, I'm thinking of going tiny, and you're not really sure where to start, if you want to go with a builder or DIY, either way, you've got some decisions to make. You got to figure out how to land it. And so here's my framework. Clarity about what you're looking for, right? Is tiny home right for you? You get to that point, I'm clear. I want to go tiny. Commitment. There's going to be a lot of little decisions and choices along the way, but it is about committing to the journey. Defining. This really gets into more like how big does your home need to be? Is it going to be 10 feet wide? Is it going to be 8.5? Are you going to travel with it in the future? Are you going to have someone tow it down the road? Then once we get to that definition of like how big and like kind of like think of the container, if you will, design. What colors? What does the kitchen look like? Where's the kitchen? Is there the bathroom? Is it going to be a flush toilet, a compost toilet, an incinerating toilet? All those decisions go into the design. Throughout all of those things, there's the budget. You're going to start with a budget in mind up in the beginning, but you're going to have a lot of points, whether you work with builder or DIY, where you're going to figure out what kind of budget, what do I give away? If you've got an endless budget, great, go for it. If those of you have I am limited in a budget, or if you need financing, then that's going to come into play in that budget category. Then once you're ready and you've figured out all those pieces, you literally are not ready to build your home. You're not even ready to order your trailer until you know how heavy that thing's going to be. Because guess what? The trailer actually comes with these things called axles and tires. Those axles and tires are rated for the weight. How would I know this? Because our builder, who went bust on us, put the wrong ones on our trailer. On our tiny home. Day 2 of our trip, there we were with the wrong axles and tires. How did we know this? We went to a weigh station. We called the only people that we knew to call, and I can't really show you because it's buried. trailer made out of Colorado, and we're like, hey, how's it going? Our builder went bust, but your name is on the side of our trailer and your number's there, and here's our weight. Guess what? I heard on the other line, like, you need new axles and tires. Come again, what? You know, how could this possibly? Yeah, okay. So that happened. And California Tiny House, Nick from California Tiny House rocked us, helped us out so much with R&J trailers, helped us out with getting the right axles and tires because they were right in Fresno. And funny enough, we not broke down, but we learned about this in Los Baños, where some years previous, we actually broke down in Los Baños with the van. So we love Los Baños. There's nothing on Los Baños, but I think we we'll probably avoid it in the future. Just saying. Just we've had a little scenarios happen, but very friendly place to break down or have an issue because Fresno's nearby, especially if you're in a tiny home. I diverge. So back to the build. So then there's locating where you're going to be, right? Locating your tiny home and finally landing. You know, there's 8 different versions, and think of it as a tire. At each one point, you could actually know where you're going to put your home, and if you've got money, but you're not sure about your design. You could actually know what kind of design you want, but you need the money and you need the place to park it. All of those pieces come together, and this is what I'm offering you consulting to do, because I've been at it. I have been at it with the professional builder, with DIYing, with figuring out where to land and locate my home, with traveling. You know, I have covered all pieces, and I am on the Tiny Home Industry Association board. Such an honor to be invited by my friend Alex with Pacific West Tiny Homes. Great certification for your home. That gets into a whole nother thing. If you are a DIYer, please certify your home. If you're going with a builder, make sure they're certified, and any certifier has got to be listed on that state's where they build it, third-party verification list, period. Because as we go around and get more jurisdictions approved, we are going to need those city managers, those council members, the staffers, the supervisors, you name it. They're going to need to look at a list that they're going to reference. Who are they going to look to? The state, guaranteed. So we got to make sure that those companies that you're looking at, the builders, are working with a certification that is actually on state. Let me show you, for example. Okay, we're getting into a dive. This is going to be a longer video. I usually keep it short, but I'm on a roll here. Sorry for the jiggly. Okay, so we're going to get into the details because this is important. Pacific West Associates, that is the tag. It's actually not a sticker. It is metal, but it's called a sticker. So do you see the NFPA? It's a little fuzzy. 1192. I can't really even see it myself. And then we have the, NFPA number 70. And then we've got, wow, I should come here with glasses. This is important stuff. What's in here? And that these guys are also on the third-party verification list for the state of California. They're listed there with other certification providers. The good news is that's all we could use when it came to DIYing in the state of California per that list. And when we were talking with some City of San Diego, it was just down in the Tiny Fest, California. Thank you, Renee. Tiny Fest, California for this amazing festival. Thousands of people coming out to see tiny homes. And we were them. We were them in 2017. We sat in those audiences and we were learning about going tiny. That's where we found our builder. But, you know, fast forward through all that story. They did go bust on us. You know, you heard the axles and tire story. So once again, super important to know who you're buying from. Whether you're DIYing or building, you got to know about that trailer. That is such an important thing. You got to ask your builder, like, just ask the question. When you build with them and design with them and they send you pictures of the trailer, they'll send you pictures, it's all exciting. Do you know what you're looking at? If you don't know what you're looking at and you're thinking, I might need someone to help guide me on this whole process, because the builders are only going to, you know, focus on design and location. They're not, and hopefully financing. Sorry, did I say location? Builders are going to focus on design and defining and maybe financing, but they're not going to help you with like locating your home or something like that. If you want someone that can really guide you through the whole process and get you connected with the builders that you can count on to not going bust and give you the wrong tires and axles, check in with us. We do consulting. We offer 20 minutes free consulting just to talk about your story, where you're at. Even if you're like 2 to 3 years down the road, we want to know. This industry is going to change greatly in 2 to 3 years. City of San Diego is about to approve. That gives us like pretty much Southern California coastline, LA, San Diego. Yes, there's a lot of cities in between LA and San Diego. But when you've got all the cities around them, surrounding them with approving and amending the ADU to allow for movable tiny homes, what's going to happen? The other cities will start looking at the same. So we're going to get this thing hooked up and drive it off the property. I'm definitely going to pop on and show you that. That is going to be satisfying because when this thing drives through the grass and doesn't get stuck, that's going to be great. That's the vision. All right. Hold the vision with me. By the time you're watching this, we will be out. We will be out and off of this property and on to the next journey. And thank you guys for subscribing to our YouTube channel. Awesome to have you here. Thanks for listening. I know it's a lot of information coming from a talking head. We will be looking forward to doing more edited videos. It does take a lot of time to do that. And right now, I just feel like I have so much work to do with helping grow the movement. What's your tiny story? Join us if you want to check out Tiny Home Industry Association and support the growing industry. Check it out, tinyhomeindustry.association.org, also on their Facebook page. And for consulting, check out experiencetinyhomes.org. Pop on, get your 20-minute call booked, and we will talk about how we can work together. So thanks so much for being here. Have a great day. Bye, you guys.